indigenous hoop dance. You want to say what tribe or anything like that?
Oh, sure. Tansekioa, Angela Netsibasa, Namiskochi, Waskaga, Nochinia, Nianekio, Isquiu. I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And I'm a fancy shawl dancer, jingle dress dancer, and a tiny tot hoop dancer. Okay, I just started doing this dance after my son was born a few years ago. I started doing this dance. It's a healing dance, and I actually was struggling with postpartum depression really bad. And my friend gifted me with hoops years prior, but I was like, oh, thanks, cool, but not really interested. But after going through that mental health stuff, I decided to pick up the hoop and just start, spinning it and figuring out this dance. And it actually really helped me to just be in the present moment and help really heal my mind. And this is traditionally a healing dance from the Taos Pueblo tribe of New Mexico. And you're gonna see many different shapes that show how we're all connected in the circle of life. So I'll just let you use your imagination and figure it out. All those tricks and stuff. But you know what? All right. This dance has been passed to many different nations on Turtle Island, which is the United States and Canada, to keep the dance alive because of the culture bans that the United States government and Canada put on Indigenous people, not allowing us to do our dances or ceremonies. So I learned this from Lisa Ojig. She's a 2-time world hoop dance champion. So she taught me the foundation, and I made this little tiny tot routine. Tiny tots are the little 5-year-olds and under category. Yes. That's where I say I'm at right now. But where's my music?
Yeah, so if anyone's ever heard of Tribe Called Red or Hallucination, you may have seen her on the stage or performing. She tours, known for touring with them. And I'm blessed to have her come and do this because this is all a fundraiser for my family, my kids, to go to Tanzania for a Youth Arts Institute. Yeah, well, I'll talk more about that when she's done.
Yeah, so bid on some items, going to a good cause. All right, here we go. Since we're in this type of space, we'll just see what happens.
dance and educates youth and adults in so many areas. Is what does she not do and educate in? And Kim Poole here, she's going to say a little bit. We're going to come down so you guys are out of the cold, but she's going to present downstairs and you guys can learn about the program, what my kids will be attending. She organized the trip to where I went to South Africa and with Jennifer, where's Jennifer? With Jennifer here, well, another Jennifer. She was the keynote speaker in South Africa and speaking for the indigenous Turtle Island Nation here, which we spoke about like how the arts helps in regards of healing and abuse and all types of areas of that. So if we could all go inside and you can listen to a little bit about what the program is, and you can look at the items and see what maybe you want to bid on or donate, so my kids can go.
Besides the local stuff like Canada, Mexico, Jamaica, England, all over Europe. So many places.
Wow.
I can't even remember all the time.
Wonderful. That's a blessing.
I lived in England for like 19 years.
Oh, wow.
And then I've been to Ghana. My dad worked for the World Bank, so I was traveling a lot when I was young. So I've been to Switzerland when I was a kid, and we're from Ghana, so
How old were you when you went to Switzerland?
like 7 or something.
Really?
Went to school there for like 6 months.
That is awesome.
And then in Ghana as well for a little while. I like to go back to Ghana as much as possible.
So what do you think about international travel? Those traveler folks. What do you think about that?
I think it's
It's a
important.
must.
It opens your mind.
It's just so important.
It's a must.
I
It
mean,
is.
it's just a mind-opening thing. You know? And I lived in Alberta, Canada for a year.
Oh, wow. And I like Canada a lot.
And you say it's a must. Why?
It's a must because well, it's not even just travel internationally, but even domestically.
Sure.
Because what I find, I deal with lots of people, all different types of people, and I find that so many people live in a little box, and they think they understand so much, and they don't. The decisions they make, the way they treat people and whatnot, is based upon where they've been, what they've experienced. And it's imperative that we go out and experience things and see things from different perspectives. So it helps us individually grow.
Exactly.
How do we advance our cultures if we don't get knowledge from others?
That's right.
Right.
We would just remain in the same box, like rehashing old ideas in the same realm, and spiritually as well, because there's different spiritual hierarchies and strengths as well within different cultures. You know, and if you, that's the whole thing about superiority. Once you believe that, you cancel out everything else that is there for you, which means you're going to destroy yourself in the end.
Yep.
I don't know.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
that's
Y'all,
right.
I don't have to talk. That's awesome. I mean, that's what I found. And we take kids, and I've been all over around the world. I've been to 5 of the 7 continents. And I'm telling you, you can't make me shame about this color right here.
Yeah.
You can't make me shame of all this chocolatey goodness. You can't make me shame about these lips, about these hips, about this nose, about these dimples. You can't make me shame about my hair. You can't make me shame, because I've seen with these eyes and I've experienced some things. And taking these kids, and like you said, not even just overseas, but here.
Yeah.
We just finished having a Harriet Tubman Leadership Conference.
Wow.
And we brought 7 kids from Ohio. There were students from Baltimore. And we went camping in the freezing cold, y'all. It was freezing cold. But the kids loved it because they saw stars. City kids saw the stars, and they saw a shooting star. And they were just overwhelmed. They saw we were up in the mountains, and they looked over and saw the valley, and they were just overwhelmed by that sight. It changes your perspective on things, and like you were saying, it broadens your perspective. I saw one of the young men, this elder lady, elder Caucasian lady, was walking her dog, and he just didn't feel anything about it, went over and just, how are you doing today? And she just spoke with him, and he petted her dog. You know, it brings us together. It brings us together. I was in Benin with my grandson, who likes photography, and I had to give a speech. And he was right in there with all the photographers and clicking his camera. And I said, look at my grandson. 4 generations I've taken over there. 4 generations. This is invaluable to their growth. I remember when we were going, now I'm a storyteller, y'all, so y'all forgive me. I went to Senegal, and we went to Gorée Island. And there was this one young lady, nails out to here, okay? And she was just, and I'm she poo poo. I'm really a she. However, she was more she poo poo than me, and that'll tell you something. So, and she was just oh so particular, and she couldn't touch this, and she didn't like that. And we went to Gorée Island. Is anyone familiar? This is where they held the captives before we were brought over here and enslaved. So it was a slave galleon, and there was this slit in the rock, and it's called the doorway of no return. And it said that once you got off of this place, this island, you'd never come back again. And they showed the different rooms in this slave dungeon, and where they, if you were rebellious, they put you in the ground up to your neck, buried you. And that's how you ate, that's how you drank, that's how you slept, that's how you did everything. And I saw the moment that she changed. I saw it happen. Something inside her went click, and she just started crying, and you could feel the spirits in there. And I hugged her, and I said, "Are you all right?" She said, "No, I'm not." She said, "I can't do this." She said, I said, "You can't do what?" She said, "I won't complain anymore. I won't complain anymore." And she said she wanted to become a teacher. That moment changed her. So to be able to travel, to be able to sit in Lebanon and learn how to make hummus and baba ganoush, and and just have fun and enjoy different cultures, different languages, different people. I was all up in Russia. Lovely me. In Russia. And I wanted to take pictures with the KGB. We were with the guards, with the guns and everything. And I was like, "Can I take a picture with you?" And he was like, "Nyet, nyet." And the other guy, he was just like fascinated, And so I was just taking pictures with the KGB. And I know I must be, I was too ignorant to be afraid, I guess. And so I had a wonderful time in Russia. But people, that's what I learned. Folks is folks.
Yes.
Folks is folks. Folks want to enjoy themselves. They want to educate their children. They want to make love. They want to, live. And so when you talk to the people, it adds value to your life. And so to have Shauna to take her sons, to see things, to experience things. It's just, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it in the world. Now, next, I want to go to Ireland. I want to have a Guinness in the pub, and I want to raise a glass and sing Irish songs, because I believe I have family over there. And my husband did some research, and he found that there was a great connection between Ireland and Africa. And so it's quite possible that I do have relatives. And so I want to see that. I want to experience that. So I'm here to say, zis boom ba ra ra ra. Go, Shauna, go. Take your babies and see more stuff and learn more stuff and share
Yeah.
more stuff and share more love, and this world will be a better place.
The koi and the sun and our experience there.
So Angela, can you come stand with me? So March is Women's History Month, so I wanted to share a strong women's honor song, and so I'm just gonna sing. We honor our ancestors today. We honor this earth that we're on. We honor the land that we're standing on. We honor the roots that grow deep and the connections that we've made. And we know these connections will go forth and create new possibilities and new hope. And we draw from that strength today. Way-ya, way-ya, hey-oh. Way-ya, way-ya, hey-oh. Way-ya, way-hi-oh. Way-ya, 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 way-hi-oh. Way-ya, way-ya, way-hi-oh. Way-ya, 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 way-hi-oh. And I just feel strong because with Angela standing beside me as Indigenous people, a lot of us are separated. Many of us call ourselves urban Indians. And we often feel erased, invisible within our own cultures. And so when I see Angela, I felt strengthened, I felt confidence, and I feel love, because oftentimes we were separated within everything. And so it's so honored to be with you, to see you dancing, and just these little moments where we can get together. And COVID has been so hard on our community. Oftentimes we only get together in powwows and different things. And so I just give honor, and talking about Shauna's trip with her boys, Teaching Artists Institute has provided a platform for these connections. I just barely met Kim last year, and she invited me to be a keynote speaker in South Africa. And then I created a campaign, Turtle Island to South Africa, and I started to recruit people to be ambassadors, because my passion is healing through the arts. I'm Pueblo, Cherokee, and Aztec, mixed in with a whole bunch of other stuff as well, so probably some Irish and different things. And I knew for myself, growing up, I'm a victim of and survivor of different traumas. I lived in foster care from age 14 to 18. And oftentimes in our communities, we struggle, like not only being Indigenous, but then to be taken away from our culture. And I live with two white families, two military white families, good intentioned, all that good stuff. But coming back in my adult life, sometimes we feel like imposters. And so I say, well, how do we become from imposters to empowered? And Teaching Artists Institute provided this platform. So going to South Africa was like a manifestation of a big dream. I had wrote a program a couple of years ago, Spread Your Wings, The Courage to Fly. And I had been advocating, I'm a survivor of sexual trauma, domestic violence, all the kinds of things. And as an adult, I try to uncover, well, where do these things come from? And when I look at my parents' generation, okay, they were abused. They were suffering from these traumas. My grandparents suffered from these traumas. And we keep going back. And in our community, Angela is going to be representing internationally the finding of our children at these residential schools. So we were taken from our culture. The philosophy was kill the Indian and save the man. So going to residential schools, boarding schools, and it kind of gets played out. So my generation, maybe went to foster care, whatever the case may be, and you're like, well, why do these things keep happening? And with our African brothers and sisters, we find connection. And I am impassioned about not just saying, okay, we're finding all this heavy stuff, but how can we create new possibilities? And I believe through these connections and going back to the roots and sharing our culture. So I invited Shauna, barely knew her, just knew her on Facebook. We had never talked in person. I was sending messages out, hey, I'm doing this thing, want to come to South Africa? I see that you dance, you look kind of interesting. And she's like, hold up, who are you? And so I had to explain who I was and what I was doing, and yes, we really are going, and we created a fundraiser. And it was like $4,000 for each of us that we had to raise. Shauna's like, I never raised $500 before. I was like, it's okay. I'm gonna teach you how to market. So we had a really good, strong. We had different ambassadors from Turtle Island, Chippewa, from Canada, Ojibwe. I even had a brother from Kenya come. So I recruited a team of ambassadors. We went to South Africa, gave the keynote, and just showing that there is hope through art. There is hope in healing. And then we presented our program, Spread Your Wings, The Courage to Fly. And I invited them to co-create with me. So it was a very beautiful experience of co-creating this. My program works through the life cycle of a butterfly. We use art, music, dance, all that good stuff. So we got a chance to work with high school students in South Africa, women who were living in domestic violence shelters. We shared the teachings of the ribbon skirt. So it was just a very beautiful experience, and to be in the land of Mandela, to see the cell that he spent prison in, and just, we cried, we offered tobacco, and just like walking on that land, it was so spiritual, so moving, like so many different things. So I just wanted to share that Shauna's a rock star. I cried at the last workshop where she was presenting, because she was the dance movement, the empowerment of, okay, now we have our wings, and how do we use them, and how do, so it's just so many things to say, but I just really love seeing each person blossom and myself blossom, and then the lasting relationships that we have, just spending this week with the leadership camp, and continuing to do these trips and stuff like that. So it's not just a one-off thing. It's like we're creating these vibrations, these connections. Culture is the new currency. It's a movement. And I think now that our generation has the time to self-reflect, we have the tools, meditation, how do we unpack trauma, that kind of stuff. We have the chance to actually process these things and be able to transform through art, when maybe our parents' generation and other generations didn't have that luxury to do that. So I just wanted to share that. There's so much more to say, but I just love you, Shauna. Thank you for being on my team, and I love all of you, and I invite you to just be involved in any way you can, so thank you.
Okay, this was my first auction, so if you buy something, you could just donate. These are the ways that you can do it. Come, get painted. She came here. This is my mentor right here. So she is a body painter manifesto right here.
She did my face.
All right. So even anything you want to get on your hand, your face, everything that you put in here will go to the cause.
Nice.
Yeah. So thank you for coming. I appreciate everybody.
So, when does this auction end?
Well, this one ends at 1, but
Tonight.
yes, and then I'll have 2 more attempts at fundraising. So when they get out of school, I'll do one other drive of some sort, and then I'll do something else in midsummer closer to. It depends on how much I make.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever you need, let me know.
Thank you.
If you want anything online, I can make